as you see in the bulletin, he was transferred at the end of the week from the Greenville Memorial Hospital to Lindley Park Health Care here in Anderson. But I heard this morning that he may be leaving there even as early as today. Right, Mary Jane? And Sandra, his girlfriend, has found an apartment in Williamston. So I assume that's where he will be going. But we'll get that confirmed. But continue to remember Alfred in your prayers. Because this is Independence Day weekend, I wanted to share these words, and it's not a poem, but in my opinion, it is one of the most profound speeches ever given to the American people by one of my favorites in history. In fact, they always say, you know, if you could meet anybody in history, who would you want to be able to spend an afternoon with? And after Jesus being number one, it would be Abraham Lincoln for me. These are words from his second inaugural address, which was delivered on March the 4th, 1865. The Civil War was all but over. Confederate General Robert E. Lee would surrender his army just 5 weeks after this. This speech was rooted in religious beliefs, weaving together past, present, and future. It is a mere 703 words. I'm not going to read all 703 words, which addressed redeeming the suffering of the Civil War and offering reconciliation and hope to a wounded nation. This author says the speech was not immediately popular in either the North or the South. But Lincoln considered it his greatest speech. And as I thought about our country today, and one of the concerns I have, and many of you perhaps share, is we continue to live in a very blessed land. I mean, in my opinion, the most blessed on earth. But we have growing division, just like they did back in the days that Abraham Lincoln spoke these words. But here's just a few words from that inaugural address for us today. I think a good reminder. He says, neither party, talking about the North and the South, expected for the war the magnitude or the duration which it had already attained. Neither anticipated that the cause of the conflict might cease with or even before the conflict itself should cease. Each looked for an easier triumph and a result less fundamental and astounding. Both read the same Bible and pray to the same God. And each invokes his aid against the other. It may seem strange that any men should dare to ask a just God's assistance in wringing their bread from the sweat of other men's faces. But let us judge not, that we be not judged. The prayers of both could not be answered. That of neither has been answered fully. And then he ends his address, which I think these are some of the most magnificent words ever spoken to the American people by a president. With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right. Let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan, to do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations. Amen. Brad Evans is going to lead us today in the prayers that